So like I was saying, so I feel like knowledge always somehow ends up being a sin. Like knowing more than you're supposed to know, like across religions, seems like it isn't trusted with humans,
Right.
and it should be kept out of humans' hands.
Only because of their nature, and
Only because of their nature, and because maybe we're beings of like freedom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like think about it, right? Like if we're talking about these maybe like entities or powers, they have a nature and it's like absolute, right? Like maybe this jinn thing is of evil. Like, I don't know enough about it.
Right.
But like Satan, jinn, demons, evil, right? Maybe their nature is of a sort, right?
Right.
And maybe putting a human understanding on evil, putting a human understanding of calling it evil in and of itself is sort of like stupid, because maybe that nature in its purest form is just what it is, and that's how it needs to be taken, right? Like we're going, it's evil because we know what good is, like the reference. You know what I mean? But this entity may be sort of blameless in itself because it just does what it was meant to do, what it was breathed into existence to do. Just like maybe angels and God and like Allah and all that stuff is just like the breath of creation and the nature of good.
So we're putting human constraints on something
Yes.
that's not human. Yeah.
Yes, and like maybe you're not looking at demons and jinn. We're seeing them as evil, but they're just like, if you look at it from like a completely neutral perspective, it's like those things are just in their nature what they are.
There just is. Right?
They're just
They just-
right? These things in their nature are just what they are. Angels versus demons, like we're going good versus bad, but it's just like it's that and what it is versus that and what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, what like this? Am I allowed saying that word?
What?
Would I get banned off YouTube for saying the O word?
Oh, I don't
No,
think
no,
so.
no,
The guy we were watching was
no,
talking
you're
about.
good. You're
Yeah,
good.
So
yeah.
like, so with the occult shit, right? With the occult shit, like I see similarities between that video we watched and the guy talking about. You say it. I don't know how to say it.
Shams al-Ma'arif.
The Shams
Shams al-Ma'arif.
Ma'arif, right?
The sun of knowledge.
Like I see similarities with that book and the apple of Eden.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I had the same exact thought. I just kept saying to myself, "Yep, this is
Knowledge.
it.
Like
of good and evil." Yep.
Yeah.
knowledge is the passing of ability to a human to be able to do something. Right? Now that they have the choice to do it, we know some motherfuckers are going to do it. You know what I mean?
Ty Lopez was onto something.
What do you do?
Knowledge.
No, not this motherfucker.
Knowledge. This points to the
Knowledge.
back of the book.
See a Lamborghini?
See my Lamborghini.
Comes him out.
Yeah, you got the auto from the fucking shelf right there. That's what he was pointing to.
Yeah, that's what he was pointing to. You're just like,
What the?
yeah. What's that book he's pointing to? The Leonardo meme.
Oh, I fucking
That
love that
Leo
meme,
meme.
bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, what the yeah, no, but like it seems
Knowledge is always forbidden.
like humans were pure before they knew things.
Yeah.
Like, and then that was the sin, right? Like, so we've been sort of talking about this for a couple of months now, ever
Right.
since we went to like the
Ark.
Noah's Ark recreation based off of whatever cubits the Bible
Yeah,
went ahead and-
the exact measurements.
the exact
that the
measurements,
Bible
right? They made it
Yeah.
in accordance to that. So
Yeah.
like, ever since then, like I was fixated on like, why the fuck, right? Would God? Now, oh my God, we can really
Yeah.
flesh this out. But
Yeah.
like, so there are two people created by God in this world. Like now we're just gonna go off of like Christianity, right? So there's two people that you built a perfect world for them to bask around, control the animals, do as you will, fuck around in the beauty of like Earth, right? I think the Garden of Eden is just Earth before like sin came upon
Which is
it.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Right. It's
Oh,
the Garden of Eden is it's just
It's not.
Earth.
It's not heaven. It's not a. It's
And
not
I
an
don't think it's a
in-between world.
purgatory.
No.
It's Earth before sin. That's all it was, right?
Right.
And then so everything in religion is symbolic. It's like it's almost never literal.
Right.
Almost never literal, right? It's either literal through like context clues and understanding, or it's symbolic for something.
Yeah.
And I always thought, like, when you think about knowledge, the symbolism for knowledge is always an apple. Like, schools use it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why humans innately, like, take apple and fucking...
Religion.
Well, but it's kind of funny,
religion.
though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was leading to. It's funny how, like, we always take the symbol of knowledge as an apple. Like, why the fuck? It's like you almost innately know this, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, how, like, an apple relates to knowledge. So, like... I personally don't understand why people are like confused about what the apple is. Like, some people think it's a literal thing. Like, these two actually ate a fucking apple and all this shit happens. Like, that's too fucking stupid, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
They like so all sin fell upon humans because they fucking ate an apple that God told them not to eat, right? And like you can go about it so many different ways. It's like, yeah, dude, it was a literal apple, but maybe it was a test God gave them to see if they would negate it. And the first sin was disobedience, right? And we can go on about that. But I think the apple, all the apple was knowledge.
Right.
And then like the curiosity of Eve and Adam led them to know things. Once they knew it, it became reality.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's the funny thing about like, I'll just call it the Arif and like maybe the apple of Eden and like these turning points in religions is like once the human gets the knowledge, you now have option. An option can either lead to good or evil, but now you know of evil. So once you know of evil, it now comes into existence because you know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. The probability of it coming into existence increases monumentally.
Right. So now because Adam and Eve know what shame is, and now they look at themselves naked and they go, oh fuck, and they feel like they need to put clothes on and shit.
I feel like humans, the perfect description for humans in a sort of like metaphysical sense is we are beings of chaos, right? Like one day we're happy, one day we're sad, one day we're mad. We experience the whole spectrum of emotions, right? The whole spectrum of like ideas and shit.
Yeah.
We are definitely the embodiment of chaos in flesh form, right?
Yeah.
And so to have knowledge be given to us, that is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Right. And I can see how it's just safe to say that, hey, you can't have this knowledge.
Right.
Because like it's like once you give it to them, you're just opening Pandora's box. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
At some point,
of you
at some point, yeah, some of you
are going to use this
use
shit
this
for
shit.
bad reasons,
Yeah.
right? And who knows, maybe in the beginning the two natures were trying to get to humans. It seems like the humans are like the middle ground between these natures, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like where you have absolutes, like think about it. Like if like God's never going to sin, right? He's never going to do evil things. Like why is that?
Right.
It's because like he is like the embodiment of the lack of sin. Like Jesus and God are sinless, right? So they're like an extreme, right? They're like pure, right? And like maybe demons, Satan, whoever, they're all just like the
opposite,
complete opposite, right? If humans are the ways these like entities or gods or spirits get to us, right? You know, like God is telling us like, do not fucking go read that shit. Like, don't go find out about it, right? While the snake, probably not a literal snake. Like, come the fuck on.
Right.
You're telling me a snake came and hithered to these two and was like, eat an apple and you're fucked. Like, that wasn't literal. That wasn't fucking literal, right? Like, we all know what the symbolism for a snake is, right?
Right.
Evil, Satan, whatever the fuck, right?
Slimy fuck.
That he came and he was like, learn about this stuff, right? It almost seems like the two were just trying to get the humans to be like, only know this.
They're fighting over dominance of us.
Yeah.
That's
why
what it seems
that's why
like.
there's people that justify kind of like devil worship because they say that at least he wanted to give humans knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and not just make them ignorant morons just meandering around the field.
Yeah,
And
some of
that's
them,
a
some of them say
huge-
that Lucifer is the good guy.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of they just want to give us knowledge type shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where they come from.
And now listen, I'm not.
I don't
gonna
agree
go-
with this, but hey.
I don't agree.
I'm
with
not.
this.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
agree
go
with
like
either.
raise my gum line and make my teeth black and then shave my head and make the hair remaining green.
All right,
Right.
Doja Cat, relax.
Right. I'm not gonna go like full demon, but
Did
like
she really raise her fucking gum line?
no, but it looked
No,
like
it
it. So
looked
it's
like
like,
I'm like, holy fuck,
you know,
dude.
with the-
That's a whole new level of body
She
modification.
sounds like she has Legos in her mouth.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh man,
Like-
Doja, what the fuck?
yeah, that was freaky as shit.
It was like your appearance is the most thing you. It's the thing you love. Get rid of it.
Dude, there was a
Dude, she's like, oh fuck.
shave
your
off,
eyebrows.
shave off your eyebrows just to draw them on again.
Get a sharpie.
Oh.
It's just
Oh my
fucking
God.
Sharpie.
There was
in
a
the teeth.
JBL ad on my Instagram feed with
Of
her
her?
on it, and it was just her looking like a fucking demon, just talking. And then
Holy
it's like
shit.
Christmas themed, right? She's just talking, and there's like an orange thing going on in the background, like Christmas trees. And then lo and behold, you see a pentagram fly by, and I'm like,
They're getting a little too obvious
is
with this
going
shit.
Did you see? Okay, wait, hold on. This is a side tangent. But did you
'Cause-
see?
'cause-
Did you see Black Adam?
no,
Okay, all right. I won't say no more if you haven't seen
I don't
it.
care if you want to spoil it.
No,
Oh,
I don't
right,
really care.
yeah.
I don't really care about spoiling it, but I'll just leave it at that, bro. Because like they have some
Hey, it's been out for a while. Oh, you don't want to talk about it.
it's been
You can talk about
there's,
it.
there's some symbolism in there, and it's like it's
Listen,
like,
listen,
but
spoiler-
but it's
spoiler
almost,
alert,
but it's
you know.
almost like they're sort of like, oh, this is normal now, right? So why not, right? And then no one will ever really see it as what it is because it's like, oh, they're just joking.
But they're getting
They
real
just-
flamboyant
they
and
really
obvious
are.
with this
They
shit.
really
like,
are.
Like an example, right? Like Balenciaga. Balenciaga and them literally handing out bags with like fake baby parts in it with
And
blood.
yeah.
I was like,
What
what in the
the
motherfuck?
It's
is
just
this
design,
shit?
bro. It's just
It's
design.
just
a design.
It's artistic. It's artistic.
just a
design,
creativity,
man.
bro.
Creativity.
bro? What are you hating, bro? You stupid.
Oh, dude, what
Oh,
the
God.
fuck is that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen her moving in action.
Hey, look at the pentagrams in the back. There's a
Oh, those
pentagram right there.
Oh, the snowflakes are made up of it?
Yeah, look. There's
Oh,
right
there's a
there.
pentagram right there.
There's
Okay.
a pentagram right
I
there.
see.
And it's just a JBL ad. Ugly ass sweater. It's just whatever. And then for some reason, they just want to have pentagrams in the background
Dude, what
with
the
this
fuck?
fucking demon-looking creature. Look at her. Hold on.
Just go to JBL.com and design on a JBL part. And you'll
They-
win a Brockens.
Why did they deepen her voice as if
And
as
they
if she's-
make
as
her
if
like
she's a- as
evil,
if she's
like-
a trans like she's
They
a
fucked her
trans
voice. I
person.
mean, it just sounds like weird.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I don't know what's going on, man.
That was just an Instagram reel of the new Doja Cat.
it's like it's
Demon
a
cat.
JBL ad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know what's going on. And
I don't know, but like I was saying, like I'm not gonna go worshiping Satan and shit. But unfortunately, when I came out of that, like thinking about this kind of stuff, and like it led to a lot of questions that will never get answered. And that's my problem, and that's why I can't exactly side with a religion. You know what I mean? Like now, I'm not gonna go fucking like holding up some goat signs and pentagrams and getting crazy because that too is just woo, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy shit. But like when you think about it, right? There is some merit to going like so. God thought it best to keep us ignorant, right? Because it was keeping away, assuming I'm right about what I just said about the apple, right? Keeping away some knowledge from us was his idea of us being perfect.
Can we say us?
Well,
Because, well, here's the thing. What was he planning on Adam and Eve to have kids?
Yeah.
He said populate the earth
Be
and be
fruitful.
plentiful.
Be fruitful. Multiply.
Yeah, so something along the lines
So
of
before-
like, populate, be plentiful, like have kids. and
Before
shit.
they committed the sin, right?
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah.
So he wanted us to not know what it was and go about our lives, right? Does it like not seem like he kept something from us? Right? And so you can ask so many questions like So you withheld knowledge from us, so you don't trust us with it. And then maybe you don't blame God for not trusting us
have
with
you
it.
seen some of the
Have
atrocities?
you seen some of the shit we do
Yeah.
because we know what evil is,
Right.
and we know what to do with it.
We have free will to do
But now
whatever.
that we've entertained this thought of like knowing what human nature is, now it seems like okay, God knew
And if God
our
made
nature.
us-
God knew of our curious nature. God knew of our chaotic nature, right? And He created us, right? So that means He sort of knew what the knowledge of good and evil would do,
And he made us anyway.
and He made us anyway.
And so that's what brought me to question a lot of God's infinite power. Because in my head, God, from how he's described, is like an omnipotent, omnipotent
At least
being.
the knowledge of past and future, right? You know,
Yeah.
At least that, right? Because like with that, it would seem to not make sense unless he had like he wanted like to have the whole narrative of beginning. This was the thing, and everything was peaceful until bam, something hit, right? Mm-hmm. Right. It seems like
They ate the apple and then bang.
yeah, like he wrote his own like Avatar story or something,
Right. Right. So then that goes like there's either two things we've got here. We've got like God knew that shit was gonna happen and yet he made it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Which in my head makes him seem like not such a good father.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because like if you had children, right, and don't drop that like God works in mysterious ways shit. Like I'm not here for that ignorant
But he do
bullshit.
though. He
Like
do.
nah, get the fuck out of here. Get the
It's
fuck
hella-
out of
It's
here,
hella
bro.
mysterious.
Get the fuck no. Like let's think about this, right? Let's think about this. If like what kind of a father knows millions of his children are gonna fuck up like this and then makes them anyway, right? And like almost it seems like if he knew what was gonna happen, like you doomed us. Maybe not you. I mean, you go ahead like and say like, yeah, but it was a human's choice, and was he like not supposed to make us anyway? Well, you tell me. Like, is it a better fate for us just to have freedom and then cause our own demise by not doing what God says and then going and suffering for the rest of time, or just not making us? What's a better fate?
That's above our
But see,
decision making.
but then that comes to: would you rather not exist, or would you rather experience both suffering and good, right?
How,
now-
how in that choice? How can you ever choose not existing?
How can you ever choose not existing?
So what is that?
You know,
There's
because
nothing to it.
because to choose to not to exist, you won't feel anything, you won't know anything, right? But the whole point of existence is to enjoy the ebbs and flows, right? Because you cannot know joy without suffering.
Exactly.
So to exist is to experience joy, in a sense,
Right.
And suffering.
and suffering.
Yes.
To its own like.
Yeah, but to God, we shouldn't know what suffering is. That's our fault.
See that and now that's where I tend to like have a little bit of like questions, right? Because to live in that kind of world, it goes against like the
And if you don't-
the equilibrium of what we know
Of
the
what
universe,
existence, and if you don't know
right?
what we're like, we're obviously now we're talking. Well, not obviously, but now we're talking about heaven. We're
Right.
talking about heaven because if we're living like maybe we cannot fathom a world where there is no sin because like without evil, how do we know what good is?
Right.
It almost seems like we're brain dead, coded robots running around just doing
yeah,
good things
at that
because there
point-
was never a fucking choice in the
Yeah.
first place. So did God never intend to give us choice? But you could say like, yeah, he did because he let them know about the apple. But then he didn't want us to eat the
just
apple.
take the apple and make it out of their reach. You know what I'm saying? If he's so omnipotent, just take the apple and just put it out of their reach, where there's no chance of them doing that.
Right, but he wanted it to sort of be on their own volition. See, now it's like, okay, so if this is all supposedly parts of the story that's true, right? Parts of the element that's true, and we combine them all together, right? And you could probably just justify it all by saying there's a level to this that there's a piece of the puzzle missing that we do not understand, and maybe it could be limited to
That's what I think.
something left
But why does
out,
it have to be like that?
or like maybe something we don't understand as humans.
Okay, but why does it have to be like that? Like, as my father, you want the best for me. You want me to come to a perfect place and live well. Why are you how much control do you have or lack thereof to allow this shit to happen? Right? To where most of your children get doomed, which even the Bible says, like it says the gates to heaven are very narrow.
Right.
They know most of us are not going to make it there. And yet he knows all of this is going to happen anyway. And it just carries through. And then to go say, you foolish children, it's your fault because I gave you free choice. Well, you gave it to us. You let us know the apple was there. You let it happen, right?
What if he, going back to not knowing if he's completely omnipotent, what if he couldn't move
That's
the apple?
option B. Is God as powerful as we think he is?
So I've told you guys the paradox, I guess for the audience. There's the paradox of can God make a stone that he can't lift? And if he can make the stone he can't lift, and he can't lift the stone, then he's not omnipotent. If he can't make a stone that he can't lift, then he's not omnipotent either. So it's kind of like on that concept. Maybe like we were talking about, maybe he's just a force pulling one way, and then there's another force pulling the other way.
And now we only speak in like possibilities, but like I think that's what God is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's infinitely powerful, bro. Like I think like me and Wilson were talking about this. Like I think God has his own restraints. Like I think creation and existence has its rules no entity, whether it be good or evil, can break. Like they cannot fuck up existence.
Yeah, like I said before, yeah.
Like existence in and of itself, physics and the laws wasn't created by God. It was created, right? Just created. Like at this point,
always existed.
it always existed, right? And right now, there's no point of going who created or what created it, right? Right now, if what we say is true, and option B that God isn't as powerful as we think it is, then he's confined within space, existence, physics, rules, and laws.
And within that universe, right? He is. You can call him. See, that's why I don't want to be like, that the phrase "he isn't as powerful as we think he is," right? Kind of. It doesn't really answer. It doesn't really like truly define it, because to our knowledge, to the knowledge of the rest of the beings
that's
of
the main
universe,
thing.
in the same universe,
We're
right?
putting our own...
He's automatically the highest being,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So he's obviously compared to our
He's ridiculously
level of
powerful.
potential. Yeah, equal. Like what is infinity? Yeah. That
This
kind of
is infinity point one. God is an infinity point one. He's infinity point zero.
Exactly.
He's 1.0, not 1.1. If
Exactly.
that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
it does.
Yeah, he's still so ridiculously powerful.
It doesn't
right?
matter, right?
But like these rules, right? It's the way like powers have to interact with us. Like, why can't Jin jump out of a portal right fucking now
And then punch me right in the
and then
fucking
punch me in the
face.
face, go into your body, and run around and whoop people's asses
right.
with Taekwondo?
Motherfucker
right?
needs permission.
He needs permission. You have to speak, think, and pray him and his nature into our world. It's like there's a barrier that keeps these things like away from us. They have to interact with us through symbols, through the physical, right? Like they have to come in through physical symbolism, pentagram, cross, numbers, this shit. It has to. They need like a fucking. They need a bridge
gateway. Yeah.
from their realm into ours.
Or otherwise, it would all be coexisting.
Yes. And that we'll say nature or existence or physics, right? We'll say the fabric of everything won't allow that to happen.
Right.
It's created like walls in between our realms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Almost like God of War, where like Niflheim's there and fucking Asgard's there and Midgard's there, right?
Right.
Like there's no like fucking Tyr's temple. There's no like Yggdrasil fucking tree. Like the Yggdrasil tree, like there's certain ways to get from one realm to the other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Without that, then you'd be landlocked.
Right. Like God can't just walk up in this bitch and like talk to us. He can't. Like he has to communicate in some sort of way. Like right? Like so like let's talk about Jesus then. Why couldn't God, the greatest entity, come like the greatest entity of good, we'll say, one extreme nature, like just come up on the people, right? Like create a like equal amounts of the population of the world, create clones of himself and come talk to each and every single one of us and go, listen, this is what you got to do to come into heaven, right? No.
Right.
He had to send a man. A man. He had to send his son, right? A version of himself, but with flesh, right? Jesus Christ. He had to send a physical version of himself to come tell us his knowledge to be more good.
I think you're forgetting all the other ones too.
Right now,
like multiple men.
those are prophets. Those are prophets, right? And this is supposedly his son, right? That's what he's mentioning.
yeah.
Just
so,
for sake of
right. Just to get like an understanding, but like the way God had to interact with us was create his son, a human flesh, a human man that we could touch and listen to and interact with through the 7 senses that are available to us, right? Like the devil, demons, we have to try and get them in our world through
Rituals.
rituals, prayer, words, thinking. Like these are the only way we get some of them into our realm. You know what I mean?
right.
And if that is a necessity to get them here, then they have rules they can't break. They have places they can't go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I talk about this because it's like it's worth a think.
Well,
It's worth a
the
think.
thing
you
I
know?
always ponder is like, why did he stop? Like for me, for Islam after Muhammad, what caused that cutoff with all the miracles and the prophets and the what happened to where like, oh, Muhammad is gone.
Why is
Peace
he
be
the
upon
last
him?
prophet?
That's it.
Like
It's like you guys figure it out.
Yeah, because we can meld like all Abrahamic religions just so we can start getting an understanding of shit, right? Because we have Muhammad after Jesus now. So now we go like Muhammad, like why is he the last one? And if God was seeking the best for us, why not put a prophet in every land so the knowledge can spread equally?
Right.
Right? Why not start putting one every century so that we're constantly fucking getting one? Like why stop at Muhammad?
Yeah. Why did he cut? Why did he stop conveniently at the time where information was more easily,
Right.
pushed out? Now it's like the evil side it's easier for the evil side to keep going.
Right.
Now you're on Instagram and you just start seeing pentagrams everywhere.
Right.
Right.
What's going on?
And again, like I'm not gonna stop at God works in mysterious ways. We can't leave it at that, man.
I mean, here's my thing. That's the problem with religion. You get to a point where it's just
It-
it feels like
it-
it's above human consciousness to figure out the
Yes.
answers.
Like all our ancestors could do was like try and understand things through the like knowledge they had. They had to use like symbolism to try and portray things, right? Like in Revelations, it'll talk about like some of the visions. I forget who wrote that. Who wrote Revelations?
No idea.
That's you guys. I don't know.
I forget which apostle wrote Revelations, but like the way and what he saw and like how the world was ending. He said torches will fall from the sky, and torches look like nuclear missiles. Like it's a long handle with the top, and fire comes out from the top. He says the torches are falling from the sky.
Oh, it's
so like
interesting symbolism.
it's symbolism, right? Yeah. Like how the fuck was he gonna go? Yeah, nuclear warheads. Like he didn't know what the fuck a nuclear warhead was.
Exactly. He just saw things. He's like, it looks like a torch. Torches are falling from the sky.
Yeah, like he's just dreaming. He's like, this is how the world's ending. He's like, the torches are falling from the sky. Like,
imagine the Bible says ICBMs will. I was like, what?
ICBM warhead incoming.
and then Paul was like, predator missile inbound.
Yeah.
Like no, he doesn't know what the fuck that is.
Exactly,
Right? Like
right.
so the way things are communicated through religion, I think it's symbolic. I think it takes like a massive amount of understanding and like. I don't know, like I don't have all my words here, but like it takes like a lot of like intellect to understand this shit.
A lot of years
this
spent.
is how dangerous religion is.
Yeah.
Because like the very thing that like any god you believe in is trying to pass on to us for the good, that too, right? Because because like we can say the apple of Eden may be evil because it was knowledge humans weren't supposed to know, and so is the
Shams and Ma'arif.
yes.
Yeah.
But like, how then is the Bible itself not one? I mean, it's more knowledge, and now this book of knowledge is causing wars, rape, the Crusades, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, there's I think with the Bible, right? It's like I feel like there's tiers of knowledge, right? And there's this quote where I think it's from the Kabbalion, right? It says, fuck, what was it? It was like something relating to like the like wisdom is only given to like to the ears of understanding or whatever. And in that sense of like the person who like has the wisdom to interpret the knowledge will interpret it the correct way
Yeah,
through his pursuit
of knowledge,
and his
understanding.
wisdom. Right?
Yeah.
Only though like a sentence can be said and then there'll be like, let's say, one wise man and 30 fools.
Yeah.
30 fools ranging from levels of his foolishness compared to the wisdom to the wise man.
Yeah.
Right? They will all interpret it the wrong way versus the wise guy.
Yeah.
Right? In that sense.
That's
So
interesting.
so I feel like, of course, when it comes to the Bible and the populace, it's unfortunate the majority of the populace are going to interpret it the wrong way.
Right.
Well, here's
Right.
nowhere in the Bible or in the Quran does it say go out and crusade, because
And like wage wars.
right, the word Quran, if I remember correctly, means recite or to recite, and then Islam means to submit. It doesn't say go and crusade and go and kill and fight. It's human corruption and greed that twists the religion to fit our narrative.
Yeah,
That's
so
always how it is.
So yeah, sorry. The quote that I was trying to say was, "The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding." So only those who would understand the words will just get it.
We'll understand. Everybody else will, like.
Everyone else
yeah.
will see it as foolishness,
Either they'll
right?
think it's
But
foolish,
it's only
or
the people who understand will see it as wisdom.
they'll either
Sure.
think it's foolish or twist it to fit their own understanding.
Right. I mean, there's listen, bro. There's people out here that like use the Bible and go, look. So God talking about slaves here. So yeah, like back during like slavery times in
Yeah.
America, like they would twist the Bible to,
To say whites were the
yeah, like whites were the superior race, and these slaves should be our slaves because they're
right.
black.
God
right?
said we could have slaves.
Right. And I was like,
It's in the book.
that's not like what he meant.
If
though.
it's in the book, he says we can do it.
Dude, people do that now. I mean, in Islam, the Prophet, peace be upon him, had, I think it was 5 wives. They had multiple wives. He took them in because they were orphans, or just so he can provide for them. Because back then, if you were a single girl, you're not going to make it very far in a village. So he only took them to provide for them.
Mm-hmm.
People now are using that to justify it to have 5 bitches. So they're always going to do stuff like
And
that.
misinterpretations of all this knowledge given to us, it's leading to so much. It almost seems like it leads to more foolishness and evil than it does wiseness and fulfilling life. You know what I mean? And oh man, to put what I'm trying to think into fucking words, like if the very book of God itself, which is knowledge, is causing evil, then like I don't even know. Like right here, it seems like my head's going like the theme of knowledge is that it will 9 out of 10 times just get used for the wrong thing.
Yep.
Even when it's coming from the nature of good.
Yep. That's why when you guys are saying you might be able to use that book we're talking about, the Son of Knowledge, like you have to be like monk level of
Monk level discipline. Yeah,
just to not use it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
For your own gain.
Yeah, you have to be like a fucking warrior. Like you have to be so sound. You know what I mean? Like
The level of restraint, dude. It's hard to stay on NoFap.
yeah.
Let alone.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
Especially when there's a spell in the book to get women to be fucking like just love you.
Yeah, let's say you go for
You're
a
just-
dry
like-
spell,
like
6
how
months.
many
You still,
dudes?
you on D-ball, bro. You
Oh.
fucking peaking. Motherfucker, nigga, you are gonna write that shit on your meat.
You gonna
You
write
gonna
the
write
spell
that
on
shit
your
on your
meat.
meat. You like, come sort of hot off. Give me the puss. You're gonna repeat that shit 132 times
Bob's of a
just to get Sarah from 32 miles away to come over.
Yeah.
It's like
You know what I mean? And for me, like, I'm thinking about like what in that book, the evilest book in the world, right? Of all occult magic,
yeah.
right? Like, it's like what? Like, I want power. You know what I mean?
But power in what sense?
I want command. I think I want command over, like if I were to like let my like desires out, right? Like, I want power means I think it simply just means I want more control over my life. Like, I want
Control
the
over
more
others or control over your own life and your own reality,
I think
which
to
which
have
brings
that,
in other people.
yes, it's the same thing.
Because
Like,
your reality brings in the realities of other people in a sense where, like, think of like a Venn diagram where circles intersect. This circle may be your reality. This circle is somebody else's reality, and the intersection is what you want. But everyone's reality, including yours,
Yeah.
is the intersection, right? We all share that intersection, or the multiple intersections
Yes.
from other people. It's getting to.
Yeah.
If you can picture
If you
that,
can-
right? If you can
it's-
picture millions of circles intersecting all together, we are the intersection. Our realities are the intersections of everyone else's.
It's
If you can
very
picture that,
Right.
right?
but
continue,
like
yeah.
like in a way, all I'm trying to say is like you can want power for the good of your own life, but when to go up in power immediately puts people under you.
Yes.
So like in a way, I am saying I want control over people. Like, I want power because I want to have more freedom and choice than others. You know what I mean? That's like simply all I want. You know what I
You
mean?
move up the rung of society, and then you have to leapfrog over other people.
Yeah.
It's just I think
too,
it's,
like,
it's more
I
that
want-
laws of nature kind of thing, where like to have power over reality is to have power as well
Yes.
over other people.
Like,
It's a hierarchy.
you have more
hierarchy.
threads to pull on. The more power you have.
It's a hierarchy.
It's a hierarchy.
The more power you have, the more threads you can pull on. The more you can affect the world.
Right,
The more
exactly.
you can change the like fabric of life.
Yes.
Right. Your own and others.
Right.
I want that.
We know too much.
Well,
We know too much.
we all know like that's where when you have too much money, then you money doesn't fulfill anymore. It's more like what you could do and
What you can do with
What
the
you
money.
can do with
no,
the
no, no.
money.
What you could do, what more than what other people can't do.
Right, yeah,
What
yeah,
you can
yeah,
get
yeah,
away
yeah.
with, the other people can't.
That's
get
why
away
the
with.
people who are born into money are just like, this is boring. I want to do something like
They get fucked up because they never had to work for it.
right.
Yeah.
They don't
right.
have any reference information.
Yeah, let's see if we can get. Hey guys, here's a crazy idea. Let's have an island and see if we can get away with, you know where I'm going
the
with
big
here.
stuff, right?
Haven't you ever want to fuck some juicy,
No.
No,
some juicy
Bam.
Don't you want to have an island where we can just
whatever
videotape
they
this
want.
shit and
They just
Blackmail
just hang,
people.
hang out.
just fuck on do that?
Yeah, and you know, whatever. Get your fancy.
Whatever floats your boat.
And then we can fly out all the other billionaires here.
And then we can pretend like we're the saviors of the world.
Then we can have a list of motherfuckers, just for shits and giggles.
And then we can have the girl that knows everybody, and nobody cares because
then
they're
we
worried
can
about Johnny
exploit it.
Depp and Amber Heard.
yeah.
And we can just exploit.
All right, boys. It was
people.
nice knowing you.
Yep.
Nice knowing you. It was a good
The
endeavor.
red dot's gonna
Well,
be on
that's
our
it.
head. Dude, what's that red dot on your? That's why we have to stream our shit. So if we get killed,
So
then-
that's why. Of course, but as soon as we turn the stream off, it's like, all right, deep. You turn around, it's just you just turn around, it's.
Oh shit.
You guys do last meals around here?
It's last meals. Shit.
No, yeah.
We're gonna have to.
Well, yeah. Just ridiculous shit. I know, so power can always lead to like some very heinous, crazy shit. right?
That's understandable.
But fucking A, like
Oh, well, you remember when we were talking about death? And
yes.
okay, so
Wait, explain what we were talking.
Remember I was
about. I'm
talking
trying to
about. Remember I was talking about the dreamless
just
sleep,
not
which
being
is good,
conscious.
what
and
is
I'm
death?
okay with that.
yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
So I found like so in Cyberpunk playing the game, there's these things you can stumble upon. Like you know when you play a game, you can read a book and it shows you like a page, like in Skyrim, that kind of thing. I found one and it's called the Consciousness Curse. While I was playing, so
Interesting.
there's this random quest that pops up with this Buddhist monk. It just pops up in the middle of this futuristic, like super cyber. Everybody's super high off their mind with dopamine. He's just sitting there meditating. You walk up to him and then he just leads you through these meditations. And it's funny because whenever I do it, it's kind of like 2-3 minutes. I actually meditate with him because he actually like guides you through the meditation.
And this is in the game.
This is in the game. And it's like it's a weird oxymoron to everything going on around you because you're in the middle of LA in the biggest shitstorm, and he's just there in like the lotus pose, and you put on this brain dance and it transports you to like the Amazon jungle and it's just a waterfall. So and he disappears as soon as the meditation's over. He's gone, and you just find him in random spots. So this was just sitting outside one of the things. So here's what it says. Man dies the way he was born, soft, weak, and helpless. Death, the one certainty in this universe of chaos, can be both a tragic end and a release from suffering. It can come as an unexpected twist or as a beautiful crowning counterpart to a life well lived. The curse we face as humanity, the only living beings in constant awareness of death, is our inordinate focus on the fact. How much happier is the life of the gazelle that escapes the cheetah's clutches, thinking that it evaded death once and for all, than the poor soul living out his days knowing each step inches him closer to the void. And
Say that last part again, a little slower. How much happier?
how much happier is the life of the gazelle that escapes the cheetah's clutches, thinking that it evaded death once and for all, than the poor soul living out his days knowing each step inches him closer to the void.
So the gazelle can't contemplate death. It doesn't know it's going to die unless it's killed.
Right. It escapes
We
the cheetah.
know we're gonna die.
Right. It
one
escapes
day.
the cheetah. It's like, oh, that's it. I'm not gonna die.
That's
Whatever.
why. That's why in the beginning of that it was saying like we're the only creatures in existence that know of death.
His
Yeah.
ignorance gives him
The curse we face as humanity, the only living beings in constant awareness of death, is our inordinate focus on the fact.
Yeah.
So like the memento mori,
Yeah.
like having that calendar where you cross off. Is it days or weeks? It's weeks, right?
It's weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, where you can use it to your advantage, but at the same time, there's people that only focus on that, and
On the concept
and-
of death, and
so
I'm
it's
not going
like-
to be here anymore.
so it's YOLO.
Mm.
So let me do this dumb shit. It's YOLO. And there's people that use it the other way, where it's like it's not YOLO. It's like I'm gonna use it to make myself better, and I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
nihilistic.
To gain as much fulfillment before. I
Yeah,
go.
there's multiple avenues. You can be a nihilistic and black pill and be like, fuck it. You could be YOLO and just do really stupid shit just to get dopamine.
Yeah.
Or you can use it for your own good.
Right.
Or you can use it to be a martyr. That's why
It's up into an interpretation. Like when someone is faced with death, what does their character lead them to do?
right. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do with the
Yeah.
life?
So once death is at the forefront of your mind and you're not ignoring it, right? You're not kind of like putting it off because you're afraid of it. Like what then do you do with the information? Basically,
Oh, here we go. Information
that's what we do with the information.
with the knowledge. Knowledge.
What do you do? Do you go like, oh, life doesn't matter. I'm gonna die. Nothing I do matters. Everything is forgotten. Everything turns to oblivion. Then you go jack off all day, or do you go everything's gonna turn into oblivion? So I might as well get as much as I can out of life right now. And you go become dick slinging big bad CEO,
Hack slinging slasher.
Andrew Tate man, Lambo driving ass motherfucker.
Fucking
right? Like,
billionaire chic
yeah, billionaire
in the
chic
middle of a desert somewhere.
owns every piece of sand on that fucking desert.
Man's using real estate and shit, bro.
You can't walk away with a piece of dust on your shoe without him knowing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's funny you mentioned sand.
Or you can jack off all day.
Or you can jack off all day.
You could do either or.
You can do either way. Make no difference.
Make no difference.
Does it not make any difference? I like. That's the same.
Quit copying me, man. What the fuck?
Because now we're gonna go into reference,
My
right?
about to do the fusion dance over here.
Yeah, it's like
Now. That was weird.
we were at the shaka.
Shaka.
So now, know that death is coming. You need to know what the meaning of life is.
That's a whole nother world, bro. How can you figure out?
I think like the I personally don't think once you know that death is coming for you that you should fixate on it.
No.
It should give you a reason to ask yourself, okay, what am I going to do with my life?
I feel like there's no answer to the meaning of life. I feel like you give life meaning.
Exactly.
Right. That's all it is. That's the.
So what do you want to do with your life? That then becomes the meaning of life.
The meaning of life.
There might be some metaphysical meaning of life answer that we won't figure out until
Or
after
even
we
like
die.
the scientific one where it's like to ensure the fucking survival of your species.
Right.
So we're not doing a good job.
Or
of it,
but
all right.
like, yeah. Other than that, yeah, no.
There might be some answer that we don't know. Maybe there's fourth dimensional beings out there.
Right, for sure. Like, all that aside, though,
For
right?
what we know, what we know with our knowledge,
Yeah,
you give meaning to your own life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, exactly. Like, so I mean, things are as meaningful as you want them to be. Then, you know what I mean? Because you can then say like, is the guy who then jacks off till the end of his days versus the man that went and conquered everything and got like everything he wanted in his life, are they equal if they both just die and, you know, at some point everything both of them did is forgotten?
Well, they do say that you can't take your money to your grave.
Right.
You can't take your accomplishments to your grave.
Exactly.
Right.
A lot of people's biggest fear is not leaving a legacy, not being remembered after death.
Oh yeah, we can talk about legacy and all that shit.
That's almost mine, kind of. It's like just disappearing. Because like, let's say it is an endless oblivion after you die. There's at least some semblance knowing that your legacy didn't go into oblivion with you.
But it's like, you know, think about this concept where like, let's say you get a video game. Do you not play the game in fear of finishing it? Like in finishing the game? At reaching the end, do you just not play the game? Or do you
But
just
I
wander
would
around
hope-
not completing the objectives?
So my point, the thing is I would hope the game would leave a lasting impression on me. That's what I mean. Like, I know the game will be over, but I hope the game will be there in my mind. Not just some 2-day thing.
See, but in that sense, I guess you'd have to have that want to leave an impression on others, regardless of whether that impression exists 300 years from now, right? At least it leaves an impression on people when you leave.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind, I don't think a lot of people think about this. Like, all legacies die, right? There's going to be a point where, unless Elon takes us to Mars and keeps us going for another couple centuries, like, this planet will fucking explode. Every idea of you, whether you were Martin Luther King, Michael Jackson, those motherfuckers are going to be remembered probably forever. Probably.
Yeah.
I'd say probably forever. Like all Egyptian kings written in the books, right? Like, those people, we can say they live on, not forever, but for as long as human history.
As human history, yeah.
All legacies die.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
So-
It's like the legacy is added into the consciousness of as long as there is consciousness, there will be the legacy of those individuals. Once the collective consciousness of those people are snuffed out or ends,
Yeah.
then that'll be the end of their legacy as well,
Yeah.
right? And it's only so few people
That will go on for the rest of human history.
that their names will go on for the rest of human history.
Well, the planet doesn't even have to explode. I mean,
It doesn't have to.
you can
explode,
ask
no.
people. Do you guys know Hammurabi?
I've heard.
I heard the name. I've heard the name.
Some of our more intelligent guys in our generation have heard of it. 50 years from now, or let's say 100 years from now, when we die off, they're gonna be like, who? Unless you really read about the guy that came up with the first laws for humans, no one's gonna know who he is.
Yeah.
That could go for Michael Jackson. That can go for. The only difference is he has music, and if somehow, let's say, music was erased, like music streaming platforms were erased, or somehow something,
Yeah.
he could be forgotten. Anybody could be forgotten. But just from my limited monkey brain telling me that I don't want to be forgotten immediately, I would want to leave an impression.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
And to seek out legacy is to almost, because we all want to survive and live as long as we can, right? And like those of us who care to live, right? We wanna prolong our life as much as we can,
Right.
even when we die. Like we want to know we go on for at least a little longer, right?
Yeah.
So I get that, but to think you go on forever,
It's impossible.
It's not a thing.
Impossible.
Impossible. Like, let's say the planet did explode. How's religion going to get carried over?
To who?
So knowing that,
To what to what other conscious being? Yeah.
Right.
So knowing that, do you think the man that chooses to jack off for the rest of his life and Andrew Tate are the same?
That's a difficult question. Because it depends on...
If you think about that, like what does either of them do matter?
I guess, okay, for me, it depends on where... This is a difficult question. Like,
That's supposed to be hard.
yeah. Like, for you personally...
I'm not gonna act like I fucking know.
Like, I can't live... I know in the back of my brain I can't live like that. But there are people that are able somehow to live like that. Just jacking off every day, no fucks given. I can do that. I can sustain that for a little while. For a few months, maybe a year, but then eventually I'll be depressed. So for me, that's my explanation. I feel like it's a nature thing.
Yeah. So like I was just thinking as well. Same thing, right? Like. I was thinking about the Nietzsche idea, right? The will to power that everyone must have, right? To experience joy, right?
Is to experience life.
It's to experience life. The motherfucker beating off in his room is gonna have his mind be so shot that it's gonna take more than just masturbation to fulfill his shit. Now his dick won't even work, right? When he reaches a real person, so he's gonna have to keep fucking jacking, right? Now an orgasm is just nothing to him at that point, right? 10 is not going to do enough for that one day, right?
Nope.
So where's that going to lead? Versus the striving for something more than just the pursuit of pleasure. That in itself, I think that holds more weight in one's existence when it comes to the weighing of like one's consciousness. It has to be something more than just a pursuit of pleasure, I feel.
Yeah.
That's the only way. As conscious beings, I think that's the one.
Because
I
we
think that's the way.
we too are bound to some rules, right? Like, pleasure in and of itself is not good enough.
It cannot exist inside of a vacuum.
Because pleasure without like hard work behind it doesn't give us well-being,
Right.
right? So I guess that's a good point.
It dilutes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it dilutes the pleasure.
That's a good point because like embedded in our own mental physiology, like our own heads, there are like neural pathways, there are chemicals emitted that support a holistic style of life that is better for humans as an absolute. Like, this is less like philosophy and more like straight up science, right? We can say like not frying your dopamine receptors is better for your life overall. We can say like these sort of things where there are things that you should do that innately, irrefutably increase the quality of life.
All right.
So using, I suppose, just science, you could say, the Tate is better than the black pill fapping
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, yeah.
Even in philosophy standards.
Even in philosophy standards. So it's a good thing we brought that up because we can draw a conclusion from it instead of being lost in the thought that maybe the nihilistic approach of like nothing matters is equal to that of the man that reaches for more.
Right. No. Yeah.
It's good to bring that out because I think a lot of people get stuck there.
Yeah.
They're like, well, fuck, if it doesn't matter, then... Well, I mean, that's not like what science says, right? That's not even like what one man, at least in philosophy, says, right? It's better for you and most people to strive and reach for something.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the meaning of life. Just to strive, to reach, to seek, to gain, to wake up with a fire, and to have something you wake up for. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's definitely a nature thing
Yeah.
because there's people where you can literally have them go to sleep to Nietzsche for years. You're like, what the fuck is this? I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's a nature thing.
But it's crazy though, because like that, he summed up so well. Just that phrase, the will to power.
The will to
It just sums up the whole human struggle in a sense. You know what I mean? It just sums it up right there.
And it almost like I forget who said the whole point of life is to wage war on death. To live well is to wage war on death.
It was Uberboyo, but I don't know whether he was quoting someone.
Quoting
or
he came up with
I think he like paraphrased someone else by using his own words.
Father-
So we'll give the credit to Uberboyo.
Father Kratos said it best.
Right. Father, yeah.
Death can have me when it earns
when it hurts.
When it earns,
Yeah, there you go.
Father Kratos.
bring out the bust, bro.
Yeah. Bring out the bus.
God said no idols.
But this is God.
Oh!
You just put the bus like right up there.
Oh yeah, I'm about to start. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll start doing that. In the
Stop
future.
putting the bust in our fucking.
We'll start doing that.
We
in
need
the
to
future.
decorate the set.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It'll be there. I promise you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give
yeah,
it
no,
time.
yeah,
We'll have
yeah,
all our shit in the
We'll
back.
have a
right?
surprise for y'all in the next episode. We'll have a surprise for y'all.
Hell yeah. How
yeah.
much longer we got?
We've been recording for about 56 minutes now.
Ah,
57.
nice.
Damn, that felt like that was a 10-minute conversation. That went by real fast. And like I think over time we'll come back to this topic because
Oh yeah,
There's
these
many
ideas are still fleshing out. There's still things out there that we do not have understanding truly of. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
they need to be said over and over. That way, like we can say it better.
Yes.
And, like make our point.
There's
across
many
better.
avenues you
Yes.
can go with this, and then maybe I'll read a different idea, and then my whole philosophy point will change on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read a new philosopher, and I'll be like, oh wow, this is a whole new way of looking at it.
Yeah. So basically, what we've garnered from this is like, if you're gonna pursue this whole like occult magic shit, right? It's like you better have the discipline and the moral standing to not divert and use this for like harm of someone else.
Yeah.
Right?
I know for a fact I can't do it yet.
For like to not harm someone else at all, no matter what. Whether it's like the death of your parents, the death of your loved one, right? No matter what.
Because whoever came up with the knowledge, found out about the knowledge, put the knowledge about together, whoever has the knowledge, I've seen a trend where those who hold the knowledge go ahead and decide it's probably best if we don't share this.
If we don't share this. Yeah.
Vatican.
Vatican, God, throughout history.
Yeah.
Honestly,
knowledge has been kept from humans.
honestly, the biggest example, not like like outside of our thinking wise, is the Vatican.
Yes.
You have this giant library of books nobody's able to look at. Why?
I wonder if like like it seems
What is in there?
all these religions maybe have their occult books related to it. Maybe it's like the Catholic versions of those books. Maybe.
You think? It's got to be deeper than that, man.
Listen,
not just
there's
I
a
don't think
reason
it's
knowledge
just-
is
I don't
kept
think it's
from
just.
people.
I don't think it's just Catholic. I think it has multiple shits.
Yes,
'Cause, like,
yes. They have shit. Like the reason knowledge is kept from people is so people, because they know knowledge is power and power can be used for crazy shit.
Yes.
You know? And so I think that's why they have all like a fucking library that's kept away from us. But it's also a little hypocritical given like how evil the Vatican might be, given the symbolism around it.
Well,
and the shit they do.
Here's the thing: would you really have this giant library just for occult books? There's all kinds of theories. Oh, the original Bible's in there. The first Bible's in there. Oh, the chalice that Jesus drank from is in there. The ark.
It's like
Ark
what?
of the
It's
Covenant
Indiana
is in there.
Jones
so
in
what?
that bitch,
What's
basically,
what's
you
the
know what I'm
chalice that Jesus drank from is gonna give you? What is that gonna do?
He was a man.
It's a fucking
His
chalice.
DNA
It's
Put
a
it
chalice.
away.
His DNA is
Well,
not.
Put it
Here's
away.
the
It's not.
thing.
It's not.
Here's
It's
the
not
thing.
magical.
It's not. Yeah, there's
This
no
is-
magic in his DNA.
This is what we think.
Yeah.
People would kill over it if
Yeah,
it was a real
this is-
thing.
this is
If
true.
it was around. This is what sane people think. People will bestow all kinds of things upon an inanimate object. We know this.
Yeah.
Fucking bathwater. Gamer girl bathwater. I mean, fucking people will pay thousands of dollars for that. Imagine the chalice that Jesus Christ drank from.
If you drank Belle Delphine's bathwater, you are a sick fuck.
Nietzsche is looking down upon
You are a sick.
You
Well, yeah.
chose the wrong path in life, friend.
But you have this you have this giant library that nobody can peek into. Why?
That's we've come to the reason why.
I feel like if it's that crazy,
It's
do you
shit. They
think
don't
it'll
want us-
cause anarchy? People will fucking go nuts if it's that secret that nobody can look into it.
It's used for control. Knowledge is kept from us so that we may not use it, and it's also used to control. I mean, these fuckers have a snake on their ceiling.
Oh, you've seen that.
fucking snake face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The snake face, the weird Jesus monument.
The fucking it looks like
Looks
fucking.
like he's sprung out of hell.
It's like statues and like little like demons like in a tree.
And
kinda
he's like
fucking
right there
thing.
in the middle.
I don't know if that Jesus though.
That's not.
I don't know if that Jesus though.
What are you actually hailing up there, bro? Like, it's weird because you know Jesus, and they always said like, do not make like temples out of this shit, right? Like somewhere like where in the Bible was he like don't make like a physical place where all of you gather and shit, like to
Right,
go
yeah.
pray to your God and like behind closed doors in private by yourself.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It was like, don't make symbols out of us. Like, don't do that kind of
That's
shit.
why-
And yet people.
That's what confuses Muslims because in other religions, especially Christianity, so many different paintings and statues and of Jesus. In Islam, you have one of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and you're gonna be fucking stoned to death.
Yeah. You have. Yeah.
They tried it in France, and then the person got beheaded or something. Like any kind of portrayal is immediately forbidden. If it has to happen, what they do is they put, at least back a few thousand years ago, they put fire on the head. And there's isn't there a movie about Jesus Christ that came out recently? It's called like the
Passion of the
the
Christ?
Passion or
The
Passion
movie
of the
isn't
Christ or
so
something.
new though.
But here's the thing. So they have one for Islam, but it's from a first person point of view strictly for the Prophet, and he never speaks. Everybody else is interacting with him.
Interesting.
So you can't have any idols, and so
That's a very creative way of doing that.
what my dad says about mosques is he says that the only reason they were a thing back then is because people needed a place to congregate, and lo and behold, they'd congregate and then they pray together.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have the internet, you didn't have any way to communicate what's going on.
Yeah.
Back then, you needed an area to talk about what happened. Oh, he's getting married. He just whatever this and that. But now we don't need that kind of thing. Your relationship should be just between you and your Creator. There shouldn't be some kind of certain place you go to worship.
Right. And
Yeah.
middlemen and shit. To where now you have to you're prone to like
Corruption.
to corruption in terms of like comparing who's the most pious.
Right.
Right. Comparing
Yeah.
who dresses the best
Right.
in the church. or
Go
some
go
shit,
go
right?
blow
Like
yourself up to
Who tweaks the most on the
yeah,
ground
who
when
tweaks the most
when
on the
when
ground,
the ghost of Christ enters their
Yeah, who
body,
can
right?
speak in tongues the
Yeah.
best?
It could,
It's
dude,
like
it could be
fucking-
it could be that innocent. It can go all the way to go blow yourself up.
Yeah, yeah.
And immediately you're gonna be transported to heaven with 72 virgins.
Or you can
72 is a
pay
lot.
to get into heaven.
Or you can pay.
Because the Pope has the keys to heaven. You know that, right?
Yeah, he does. 'Cause he goes.
He needs a
he's like,
donation.
ching, ching, ching.
He
He's
needs a
just like,
donation.
do you want to go?
At least
That's it.
3 12-year-olds every year.
He goes. He just bites the
Bites
coin. Just checks if
Yeah.
it's real. Ting, licks it. Right. He's like, oh yes, this is a coin.
He just ear head on into
enter
heaven.
child. The laugh.
And then you just hear behind the door like some fucking contraption. It's just
Holy
off
fuck.
into heaven he
What
goes.
are they doing in there?
Like, you just paid that man to die. Is what you did.
Thanks.
Thanks. Wow.
Holy shit.
Just it's knifed in there real quick.
And on that note,
God damn.
we end this episode.
Yeah, this is I'd say was the most philosophical, most metaphysical, most
Occult.
most mind-breaking episode you guys we've had so far. You
Yeah,
know?
steam's coming out of my ears.
Hell fucking yeah.
And there'll be more in the future, so stay tuned.
The gears have been turning.
Stay
Stay
fucking
top.
tuned. Stay top, get top.
Get top.
Get top. Peace.